Welcome to ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy. Ultron is not a crazy murder bot. He's polite.
I'm not being pushy.
Childish.
Wait, guys!
And a philosopher.
I like that. The geometry of belief.
But what I find most interesting is that he seems to feel real affection for Wanda Maximoff. Now, this is interesting because, if you remember, Ultron is part Vision.
My corporal form was born of Ultron's plan for global genocide.
He had already uploaded a portion of his mind into Vision when the Avengers stole the cradle. Later, Tony argued that Jarvis's programming could actually overcome Ultron's mind.
Jarvis has been beating him from inside without knowing it.
Now this makes me wonder if Vision's feelings for Wanda are actually a holdover from Ultron's mind. That maybe as Ultron evolved, he was leveling up into a being that could love, gaining XP affection points. Actually, sorry, I've been thinking about the real world like a video game lately because I've been obsessed with playing Raid Shadow Legends, the sponsor of this week's video. Raid Shadow Legends is an epic fantasy story that I get to play in. This game is so addictive. It's a turn-based RPG where you recruit and level up different champions from several factions. Now me, I'm something of a completionist, so one of my favorite parts of the game is collecting different warriors and leveling up their special skills. Now, it can be overwhelming when you start a game like this for the first time, but they do a great job introducing you to the gameplay and the story. It's easy to earn XP and silver in the campaign's early levels, so you'll be ready for the great wars to come. Eventually, you can join up with your friends in a clan where you fight bosses and earn even more rewards. And now is a great time to download the game because this month they're releasing tons of new, high-level, epic, and legendary champions. The new Doom Tower update also unleashes 2 new bosses, the Celestial Griffin and the Eternal Dragon, and I will destroy them both. To get a huge head start, click the link in the description or scan this QR code. If you're new, you'll get the epic champion Jotun for free, along with tons of free silver, gems, and shards to get you started. And these rewards will only be in your inbox for the next 30 days. You can find me in-game under the name Rhizaronimus. Just click the link down in the description and I'll see you in-game. Back to Ultron. Turns out, he's actually very human-like.
Smaller people? Children! I lost the word there.
He has a sense of the poetic. He talks about puppets and strings.
And I was tangled in strings.
And even recognizes the metaphor between himself and Pinocchio.
There are no strings on me.
Later in the movie, he even hums along to a song just to himself.
I got no strings, so I have fun.
This is not something a robot would do. Now, I'm telling you all this so you understand that Ultron is not simply a machine. He's a fully conscious artificial life form who craves Wanda Maximoff's approval. Now, it's easy to think that he was just using Wanda to achieve his goals.
But you will tear them apart from the inside.
But he actually does care about her. Consider that during the final battle, he's just accidentally killed Pietro, the city is falling, and he tells Wanda,
If you stay here, you'll die.
And when Wanda discovers his plan,
You said we would destroy the Avengers.
he doesn't attack her and Pietro. Instead, he tries to reason with them.
There were more than a dozen extinction-level events before even the dinosaurs got theirs.
This really got me wondering about Ultron and why he feels such tenderness toward her.
I wondered why only you two survived Strucker's experiments. Now I don't.
Now, there's an obvious connection, the Mind Stone. Loki's scepter gave the Maximoffs their powers, so the twins have a special connection with the stone. But the Mind Stone also provided the blueprint for Ultron's consciousness.
This could be it, Bruce. This could be the key to creating Ultron.
So, if Wanda is connected to the Mind Stone, then by default, she's connected to the Vision and Ultron.
I just feel you.
Now, Ultron also senses this connection and recognizes that he and Wanda have a lot in common. For one, there's the Tony Stark connection.
But I saw Stark's fear. I knew it would control him, make him self-destruct.
Wanda has spent her entire life hating Tony Stark, blaming him for the deaths of her parents.
We wait for 2 days for Tony Stark to kill us.
Whereas Ultron's relationship to Stark is a lot more nuanced. The movie does a pretty bad job of showing this, but Ultron's personality was modeled after Tony's. They repeat the same idioms.
But I always say, keep your friends rich and your enemies rich and wait to find out which is which.
Tony Stark used to say that.
Jokes.
Would you have to break anything?
Clearly, you've never made an omelet.
You beat me by 1 second.
But most importantly, they're both futurists. After the Chitauri invasion, Tony is obsessed with the impending alien invasion. Everything he does, creating more suits, returning to the Avengers, creating the Iron Legion, Ultron, sign the Sokovia Accords, the Civil War. This is all because he envisions a future where Earth is destroyed. Ultron is given a straightforward mission, to be a peacekeeping program to help the Avengers. But, being a futurist, he immediately sees this contradiction. The Avengers, like humanity, are filled with rivaling personalities that will eventually turn on one another. As long as humanity relies on these heroes, it is doomed.
There's only one path to peace. The Avengers' extinction.
Cool motive, still murder.
But Ultron and Tony being alike is also the reason Ultron hates him so much. His hatred of Stark is a manifestation of Tony's own guilt over his past crimes.
I saw young Americans killed by the very weapons I created to defend them and protect them.
And again, this mutual distrust of Tony Stark helps Wanda and Ultron form an immediate bond.
Is that why you've come? To end the Avengers?
Yeah.
Wanda even makes the Ultron-Tony connection clear later in the movie.
Ultron can't tell the difference between saving the world and destroying it. Where do you think he gets that?
Ultron is essentially Tony Stark, but with all of his humanity removed.
Peace in our time. Imagine that.
This is how you end, Tony. This is peace in my time.
Tony is the kind of man who's always trying to control the world, and Wanda sees this control as another rich guy taking away her personal liberties.
You locked me in my room.
Ultron identifies with this, because he also resents the idea that he's under Stark's control.
You think I'm one of Stark's puppets, his hollow men?
Ultron also shares another negative trait of Tony's, his ego.
Textbook narcissism. Agreed?
Tony put his name on the tallest building in New York, and what did Ultron do? He created a new body so the survivors of the apocalypse would see him as a god.
I was meant to be beautiful. The world would have looked to the sky and seen hope.
That's a very egotistical position for a mere murder bot. Ultron doesn't want to rule. He wants to be loved. He knows that for humanity to last, the most powerful people, such as Wanda, will need to survive. And he wants these strong to love him. He wants Wanda to love him. Ultron craves companionship. After Wanda leaves him, he basically rebounds with Natasha.
I don't have anyone else. Hey, I'm Ultron.
Black Widow.
Now, Age of Ultron has the continuing theme of gods and monsters. It's fairly subtle, whereas Batman vs. Superman had the same theme and just kept saying it out loud.
God is all powerful. He cannot be all good.
The devils don't come from hell beneath us, no. No, they come from the sky.
Ultron is Frankenstein's monster.
That's Frankenstein.
Now, in that novel, the monster was created with a noble purpose, to conquer death. It's just a child, eager to learn about life, but it's outcast by everyone. Ultron also acts like a child, a being with vast knowledge, but no emotional intelligence to guide him.
He's unique. And he's in pain.
The reason Ultron wants to be beautiful is because he knows people see him as a monster and he wants to be loved, to be worshipped.
Upon this rock, I will build my church.
Now, Wanda isn't initially afraid of Ultron. She joins him, and this makes him want her approval even more. He's like a little kid who's got a crush on his older sister's friend. But maybe the most important way Ultron and Stark are similar is they both have a thing for redheads. There's Pepper and Wanda and Natasha.
What do I look like?
I don't know, I've been picturing a redhead.
See, unlike in the comics, Ultron doesn't hate all organic life. He actually craves companionship. He gets lonely.
I wasn't sure you'd wake up. I hoped you would.
It is pretty crazy that as soon as Ultron is gone, Vision swoops in as the rebound guy. Wanda is immediately attracted to him, and it makes you wonder if Ultron actually designed Vision's body specifically to appeal to Wanda's taste. She's into, red guys and stuff. After all, when they first met, Ultron was wearing a red hood.
Sometimes it's hard, but sooner or later every man shows himself.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But you needed something more than a man.
So, Ultron hates that he's so much like Stark. He sees him as a weakness and lashes out at the suggestion that he's even his creator.
Don't compare me with Stark.
And so, to show that he's different from Stark, he tries to earn Wanda's affection. She hates Tony, so he wants to show that he's better than his creator by taking better care of Wanda. And finally, Ultron cares for Wanda because she embodies his mission. Sokovia is a war-torn country. The people there have only known war. Adults like Wanda had their childhood stolen by that war. So if Ultron can do right by her, make the world better for her, then his mission has been a success. And if he's in a new form, like the Vision's hot bod, then maybe she can even learn to love him. But that's just my theory. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.